Greetings Retro Gamers and welcome to another review for Retro Game On. Today we're checking out Road Rash 2 for the Genesis and the Mega Drive. This was released in 1993 by Electronic Arts and is quite obviously the second installment in the series. Me, love Road Rash games at Retro Game On HQ. It's actually the most reviewed series on this channel, with the original Road Rash being reviewed in the June of 2014, and the PS1 original all the way back in the October of 2013. That's quite ancient in terms of this channel, but nonetheless let's continue with the series and delve into Road Rash 2.
Open roads? Check. Motorbikes? Check. Vehicular manslaughter? Check. Road Rash 2, like the Road Rash games before and after it, adheres to a very simple premise. Motorbikes are raced, but instead of winning by pure skill and sportsmanship, unadulterated violence is the key to winning. I mean, you don't have to use it. You could try to play nice and simply ride on past the opponents like this is Super Hang-On, but that would be a very unwise decision. Every other racer is out for money and blood, and you're the blood. Get it? Anyway, attacking the opponents is the key to winning. If you don't get them, they'll certainly get you first. As you start, you can only simply kick them, but the other racers will have a few different weapons that can be stolen and then promptly beaten with. Once you have those, it's a lot easier to knock the other racers off their bike, which will undoubtedly throw them out of the competition. It should be noted that you can't actually kill the opponents and disqualify them from the race like you can in Wipeout 2097, which was my last review by the way, check it out. But once they're off their bike, they don't have much of a chance of winning. This goes the same for you as you play, as it can take ages to get back to your bike depending on how far away you fall from it. I've never come first in a race when I've fallen off. There is more than the other races to make you fall off though, with heaps of obstacles spread out over every track to crash into. By far the biggest challenge is the oncoming traffic, but there are also cars crossing intersections, as well as plenty of static objects like wildlife and wooden blockades to trip you up. Over that, the cops will show up fairly often to try and arrest you. They can be attacked too of course, because if they do catch you, then the race will be disqualified and you'll be fined. While a fine for excessive violence in street racing seems a bit tame, it's not recommended as this is the only way you can lose that sweet moolah you've earned by racing. You want this money, as this can be used to purchase faster and cooler looking bikes. That's basically the biggest draw to keep you racing, as the tracks will repeat over and over. This is a gripe I've shared with the other Road Rash games I've reviewed, as I've always thought they blow through the available tracks too quickly. Before you know it, you've raced every track, and it starts all over again but with a faster bike, more obstacles, and increasingly pissed off opponents. Personally, I feel the progression is too rapid. I feel the races should have been more difficult initially to slow down the access to new tracks, as by about the third round, the fun fades and you get bored. But hey, what do I know? Not like I have a diploma in game development or anything. Otherwise, let's look at what's changed since the original release. For one, there is nitrous. That's pretty cool. Having a speed boost at your disposal is always handy. My other favourite change is the password system. In the original Road Rash, the passwords were this huge, elongated mess involving 20 something characters and many letters and numbers that look the same. Luckily, the passwords are quite a bit shorter here, and the characters are more defined. A battery save instead would of course make me quite the happy camper, but it was 1993, so what can you do? The graphics have also improved quite a bit, mostly for the amount of detail on the various things you can crash into. I guess they were pushing the game engine a little bit further for better graphics, although I do feel this made the game a tad more sluggish. Not enough to break the game of course, or I would have mentioned it earlier, but it's still noticeable. Over in the sound spectrum, the sound effects are definitely more frequent, with the voices sounding a bit clearer too, although I didn't like the music as much as the original. It definitely is more rhythmically complicated, if that makes any sliver of sense, but also definitely more cheesy. It sort of reminds me of the music that plays in every dodgy shop or bar you enter in the Space Quest games. Oddly.
There is no other series, in my opinion, that deserves more of a reboot than Road Rash. What's going on, EA? There hasn't been a Road Rash release in 12 years. That was on the GBA. Sure, it may get a bit repetitive, but it's easily worth the $5 or so, considering you're guaranteed a few sessions of fun regardless. There isn't too much to offer on top of the original, but fans of the first release will definitely appreciate the tweaks and the new tracks.
Hey retro gamers, and thank you so much for watching. The question of the day is, what series of the past do you think is most missing a reboot? I'd like to say something else besides from Road Rash since I just reviewed it and all, but damn, the world needs more Road Rash. Anywho, there are plenty of items of varying quality around the screen that may interest you, But otherwise, have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time.